Database systems need to deal with transaction management. A database transaction is a set of related queries that must be either completed or rejected as a whole. Otherwise, there may be some queries with inconsistent or incorrect data. For example, if there was a Venmo transaction transferring funds from one bank account to another, like let's say a buyer sends $50 from his account or her account to a seller's account, but only the first query was successful where the money was sent, but the second query failed and the $50 was not received by the seller, then where did that money go? So to prevent incorrect data, the transaction either processes both queries if they are successful or processes none of them if the query fails. When processing transactions, databases must process either all or nothing, prevent conflicts, and also prevent data loss. A commit is when you save a complete transaction in the database. A rollback is when the incomplete transaction gets rejected and reverts the data back to its original values. Saving complete transaction results in the database is called a commit. Rejecting an incomplete transaction is called a rollback. A rollback reverses the transaction and resets data to its initial values. All database transactions need to follow the ACID properties, which are used for maintaining the integrity of the database during transaction processing. ACID in the database management system stands for atomic, consistent, isolated, and durable. Atomic means that a transaction is a single unit of operation. You can either execute it entirely or do not execute it at all. And there cannot be partial execution. Consistent means that all data rules that govern the data must be valid when the transaction is committed, otherwise it rolls back. Isolated means that each transaction is processed without conflicts from other transactions. Transactions are processed concurrently but appear to be executing one at a time. It's possible for two concurrent transactions to interfere with each other in several ways. Common conflicts include dirty reads, phantom reads, and non-repeatable reads. A dirty read is when a transaction is allowed to read a row that's been modified by another transaction which has not committed yet, and then the dirty read occurs. A phantom read is when one transaction inserts, updates, or deletes a table row that another transaction is currently reading. A non-repeatable read is when the transaction's reading data that's changing repeatedly. Then finally, durability means that after successful completion of a transaction, the changes in the database should persist, even in the case of system failures.